I lied about one small thing years ago and it completely changed my life forever. I still remember the exact moment everything changed because of one tiny lie that I thought would never matter. But somehow, it followed me for years and turned into something I could no longer control. I was 17, broke and desperate to get out of my small town where everyone already had my life planned for me, so when I applied for a part-time job at a local office, I lied about having previous experience just one line on a form that I had worked at a place I had never even stepped into, and somehow they believed me and hired me on the spot. At first, it felt harmless. I learned fast, worked harder than anyone else, and convinced myself that the lie didn't matter anymore because I was actually doing the job better than people who had real experience. But that one lie opened a door I was never supposed to walk through. My manager started trusting me more, gave me responsibilities I wasn't qualified for, and within a year I got promoted into a role that completely changed my financial situation. My family thought I had finally made it. My friends started asking me for advice, and I built an entire identity around being the guy who figured life out early. But every time someone asked about my past experience, I felt that same tension in my chest because I knew none of it was real. And then one day everything started to fall apart. A new senior manager joined the company, someone who actually knew people from the place I had lied about in my resume during a casual conversation. He mentioned that company and asked me who I had worked under, and in that moment, my mind went completely blank. I said the first name that came to my head, hoping it would end there, but instead he smiled and said he knew that person personally and could connect us. My heart dropped because now my small lie was about to be exposed in front of everyone. I spent the next few days trying to avoid him, making excuses, staying late, leaving early, anything to escape that conversation. But the more I avoided it, the more suspicious it looked. And then came the email that changed everything. He had already reached out to that person and set up a call to talk about my great work history. I barely slept that night knowing that by the next day, everything I had built could disappear in seconds. But the next morning, something unexpected happened. Instead of calling me out, he pulled me into his office, closed the door, and just looked at me quietly before saying the person I mentioned had no idea who I was. And that's when I thought it was over. I was ready to lose my job, my reputation, everything. But then he said something I never expected. He told me that despite the lie, my work spoke for itself and that I had outperformed most of the team for years. He said the only reason he wasn't reporting it immediately was because he wanted to understand why I did it. And for the first time, I told the truth about everything about being broke, scared, and feeling like I had no other way out there. It was a long silence after that. And then he gave me a choice: come clean officially and risk everything, or keep the lie alive, but live with the constant fear of being exposed later. I chose to come clean. And surprisingly, the company didn't fire me. They demoted me for a while and made it clear that trust had to be rebuilt from scratch. But over time, I worked my way back up this time without any lies. And here's the twist that still messes with me even today. If I had never told that one small lie, I would have never gotten that first opportunity. That would change my entire life. But at the same time, that lie almost destroyed everything I built. And even now, years later, I still wonder if the success I have today belongs to me or to that one moment of dishonesty. So tell me, if you were in my place, would you have taken that risk, knowing it could change your life forever?